Welcome to Sub Rosa from the Bad Boss Brief. I am Stephanie Peirolo, and Eugene is on tour in Europe today, so I'm going to do the Sub Rosa on my own. So this is a question that a listener sent in. Help, my clients don't like someone on my team, and I have to get them off the account. They want me to fire my team member. There were no performance issues. It's just a personality clash. What should I do? Now, this person is from an advertising agency. I have had this situation at an advertising agency, but it obviously can happen with other client service organizations as well. So here's what I would suggest. The first thing is find out what the disconnect is. Is there a performance issue? Is there a real significant clash in personality or communication styles? So that's the first thing to understand is what is the problem that you're trying to fix? And then is it fixable? And, when I had this circumstance happen to me, it turned out it was fixable. It was some communication issues. The clients had some perceptions of how their account was being handled because of the account lead. And I was able to sit with the account lead and say, okay, here's the things that you need to do differently. Here's how we show change to the client, and put her on a plan where we could work on those skills. She took it seriously, and we were able to take care of all the issues. The client was satisfied. She was able to continue to work on the account and has gone on to have a, successful and robust career. That's kind of the ideal. A lot of times I've seen it happen, depending on the client agency relationship, where the person in question will just summarily be removed from the account. Ideally, they'll be put on another account at the agency if there are, again, no performance issues. But I do think you get into a kind of gray area. If you're going to give clients enough power so that they can ask somebody off their account because of a personality clash as opposed to performance issues, I always tell my clients and my friends, you teach people how to treat you. And if you are teaching your client that a minor personality disconnect can be enough to get someone asked off of the account, you're setting up a precedent that might come back and cause you trouble. You're also moving into a situation where, just as the phrase culture fit has been used to keep people of color and women out of the workplace, this idea of like a personality disconnect or a personality clash can also be something that is hiding behavior that's less than ideal, certainly not skillful, right? So I think you want to be particularly careful if a client is saying there's a personality disconnect and there aren't any specific quantifiable performance issues. You want to think, is this something that I want to honor? Could there be a possibility that this is sexism, racism, homophobia under a different guise? And then also maybe try to reset the expectations with your clients, right? So, I think one of the reasons, and Eugene and I have talked about this a lot, one of the reasons that people are so resistant to DEI training, would be white people, are so resistant to DEI training is that they anticipate a level of discomfort and they have anticipatory dread about that level of discomfort. And I think normalizing discomfort, I often say in trainings that we should embrace discomfort, normalize with your client the fact that they're not always going to be comfortable with every single vendor, every single client service person, every single entity with whom they are going to interact. And that sort of difference in personality is often a difference in perspective that can be incredibly valuable to your client's creative work. Right? When everybody thinks the same and everybody communicates the same way, you end up generally with really bland marketing and advertising, where you have differences of opinion, differences of perspective, cultural differences. You can have some conflict, but in my experience, that always generates the best kind of work. So that's the question. I hope that was helpful to the person that wrote it in. And I would invite all of you to send us questions to Sub Rosa. We had put Sub Rosa behind the paywall, and now we've moved it out because it seems to be something that people are enjoying. So send an email to WTF@badbossbrief.com and we will try to answer your question soon. Thanks very much. Bye.